Hi everyone, it's Bethany. Welcome back to my channel. In this video, I am really excited because I'm going to be showing you a very big Dollar Tree haul. And I went to Dollar Tree recently on a couple different trips, and my focus was looking for craft supplies that I could bring into my craft room, look for craft organization things, or craft blanks that I could craft with. I found so many things, and I cannot wait to inspire you with all of the things that I put in my cart and that I'm going to bring to my craft table today. So I'm going to be sharing a variety of fun things today. I hope this inspires you. Let's go ahead and get started with the first thing. And as a reminder, everything that you see, my craft mat and my supplies that I use, will all be linked down in the description box below this video if you want to take a closer look at anything that I am crafting with. Okay, so the first thing that I found at Dollar Tree was this nice envelope, and it's a nice big envelope that has some cute little peaches on it. My eye was drawn to the color. I really enjoyed the color. And I like things like this for storing scrap items. So whether it is pieces of paper that come off of larger projects or scrap vinyl, I love having these envelopes because they're nice and durable to have in your craft space, and they hold up really, really well while being very functional and organizing scraps. So I went ahead and I want to label this because I want to bring this into my space and use it to organize. I cut out the word scraps on some vinyl, and I want to go ahead and place this right on my envelope. So a couple other things that I found at Dollar Tree was in their little craft section, I found the little craft scraper, which looks very similar to the Cricut one. So I picked this up. I thought we could give it a little try today and see how it works. And we're going to go ahead and open this up and use it when we are applying our adhesive vinyl to our envelope. Okay, so let me go ahead and get this opened up. Okay, I have this opened up, and the first thing I notice about it is on the back side, it has a little bit of texture here, which is kind of nice. It gives you a little bit of a grip when you're working with it. So I really, really like that. I also like this because I find that if you accidentally scrape or get a little dent in the bottom of your scraper, you do need to replace it because it can scratch your vinyl. So I love the idea of there being an affordable option to keep as a backup in your craft space. I think that's really, really awesome. Okay, so let me set this to the side and let's go ahead and start weeding. Another thing that I found that I want to show you is this wonderful little nail polish holder. But I've seen people using items like this to aid in weeding vinyl. So I wanted to give this a try. Usually I just weed my vinyl and put all the scraps to the side and then toss them. But let's see how this works with collecting all those little bits and pieces that come off when weeding. So let's go ahead and begin weeding. I am going to put this kind of, I guess, like this, right? And you just kind of have a little reservoir and an area to put the little scraps while you're weeding. Let me grab my weeding tool and I will begin. Now, let's see. I used a really fun font that I absolutely love, and I will link that down below. That way you know all of the font choices that I'm using in this video. And let's just weed this out and get this placed on our fun envelope. Okay, so for the smaller pieces, as I am going through and weeding the middles out, this is where a little gadget like this may come in handy. So you can go ahead and weed out your little pieces, and then using the little prongs here, you can use it to kind of help get those pieces off of your little weeding tool. So let me grab another little piece. Oh, this one is just teeny, teeny, tiny. And this one here. Okay. Oh, that one just kind of stuck to the top. Here we go. And this last little piece. Okay, so that kind of works really nice. I'm going to be doing some more vinyl weeding later in this video, so I will keep this handy so that we can continue trying and playing around with this. But fun little idea, and again, for $1.25, it's at least $1.25 in our area now, but you can't really beat that, and I think that's really fun and cute. Okay, so now I'm going to grab some transfer tape, and when we are applying our transfer tape, we can test out this little scraper tool. Okay, I have a piece of transfer tape that is just a tad small, but it's going to work. So I'm going to go ahead and remove the little liner here. Okay, and I'm just going to get as much as I can. There we go. Okay, and I'm not really worried about that being off of the transfer tape. Okay. There we go. Now I'm going to bring my transfer tape in, or I'm sorry, my scraper in, and I'm going to burnish the front. And honestly, it acts like a regular scraper. Really nice. Okay. I like to turn my vinyl over and burnish the back as well. Okay. There we are. And let's go ahead and turn this over and remove our vinyl. Just like this. All right. I'll just position this where I'd like it. You could put your little label up here. I thought this would be cute right down here. Get that positioned just so. And I think I like that. Okay, I'm going to lay this down. Now, if you do have exposed vinyl, like you see on my project here, where the transfer tape does not cover it, be mindful not to put your scraper into contact with that because it is very fragile and it can tear it. So you want to only use your scraper over areas that are covered with transfer tape. So I'm going to use that scraper once more. Honestly, I think it's a perfect little mimic of the Cricut one. So at this point, I would say I would recommend it. And again, they're nice as little backups in your craft space because if you do scratch them, you don't want to continue using them. Okay, let me grab my little transfer tape here and I'll peel that up. And now we have a nice label for our little envelope. There we go. That looks really, really nice. Okay, so we tried 3 things from Dollar Tree so far. The new scraper, we found this little weeding tool, and then a little organizational item to help organize some of the scrap pieces that are trimmed off of bigger pieces of product. All right, let's go ahead and continue looking through all of the other things that I found at Dollar Tree. Okay, another thing that I found at Dollar Tree that I have personally not seen before was apparel. And I was really shocked. It was kind of in a big bin near the entrance of our Dollar Tree, and I found a large variety. This is, of course, more of a toddler shirt in my opinion, and well, yes, 3T, and I loved the little style of it. So cute. So I picked that one up. There was also a women's shirt, and this is more of like a razorback tank. This is so fun. And again, these were $1.25. I thought that is so fun for using with the Cricut and using some iron-on. So I picked that one up as well. And then I also found, again, and I only picked up 3, but I found this nice navy youth shirt as well. So I went ahead and picked up a little variety to show you. One thing I did notice was there was kind of like 1 or 2 of each style. So I don't think that, at least at mine, and it may have been picked over already, but it kind of was just a big variety of things in this bin. But I was excited to see apparel. I think that's super fun. And again, for $1.25, you can decorate something with your Cricut and give as a gift, or just have another fun piece of apparel at home. Okay, I want to go ahead. I'm gonna take this little sticker off, and I wanted to use some iron-on to place on this shirt. And I'll go ahead and set these aside for future videos. I'm excited to decorate these as well, so stay tuned. Okay, I found this really fun SVG design, and I will link it down below in case you fall in love with it as well. But I cut it out of some smart iron-on, and I'm going to go ahead and place it on this little shirt. Isn't that fun? I love it in the navy as well. Okay, I'm gonna go over to my heat press. I'm gonna pre-press my material to make sure there's no moisture. Also remove any pretty evident wrinkles, but also this is pretty wrinkle-free as is, so that's looking pretty nice. I'm also going to to lint roll the surface. That way there is nothing on the surface that will help my vinyl go ahead and lay down really, really nicely. All right, let's go ahead and press this on, and we'll have another fun little thing that was found at Dollar Tree. Okay, so I'm just setting my t-shirt with the design and liner still on there, right on my mat, just to let that really cool down. I like to place my item on a cool surface just to really draw out that heat before I peel up the liner. Okay, so I am just peeling away that liner, leaving my design on my shirt. How cute is that? That is adorable, and I love that I found this at Dollar Tree, especially because kiddos, they grow so fast. So it's so nice that this was $1.25, put a little vinyl on there, have a fun shirt, and it's just nice that if they stain it or grow out of it so quickly, it was a very affordable little shirt and project. Be sure to check out and see if your Dollar Tree has some apparel, and let me know down in the comment section, because this is one thing that I was super surprised at. It was a first for me, and I'm definitely going to keep my eye out for little things like this when I visit again. All right, some other things that I found at Dollar Tree that I quickly added to cart are these three things. I found this little container. They usually have nice containers at Dollar Tree. I like to give these as gifts, but in terms of a craft space, I love the idea of having a nice glass container. You could get a series of these and definitely organize a big series of items. But I picked up one because it's nice to have these handy in a craft space to put little things in. So I want to go ahead and get this all decorated and use this in my craft room. But I also was surprised to see a standard grip mat sized for the Cricut Joy. So that is really, really exciting. It was my first time seeing a craft mat. So far I've only seen them in this size. I have not seen full-size ones, at least at mine. So this was exciting. I went ahead and picked this up, and I want to test it out through my Joy in just a moment. I also, now I know I am really late on this whole Dollar Tree vinyl train, but I picked up my first little roll of Dollar Tree vinyl. I wanted to give this a little test. They call it vinyl paper, but it does indicate that it is permanent. So I want to go ahead and decorate this little jar for my craft space using the Dollar Tree mat and the Dollar Tree vinyl. So let me go ahead and open this up. I already have the design all ready to go in Design Space. So I'll bring my Cricut Joy in, and we will get to cutting, weeding, and decorating. So I'm really curious to see how this vinyl holds up. Okay, so the first thing that I'm noticing after opening the mat is that it does have the liner on the top, which is wonderful, just like Cricut does with theirs. I love this because when you are done using your mat, you should put your liner back on because it helps protect your mat from getting any dust or fuzz on it. And if you do get stuff like that on the surface, it just can affect the longevity of your mat. It can help it lose its stickiness quicker. But it looks like it's more of a light grip mat, but that should work really, really well for the project that we have. Okay, and then as for the vinyl, let's see how this works cutting out. So far, it kind of feels a little bit thin to me, but we'll see how it cuts and weeds, and we'll put a little design on this jar. Okay, so I have my Cricut Joy all ready. I'm also going to remove the liner to the mat. Okay, place that to the side so I can replace that down once I am finished. And let's see, so it does have the nice measurements on the side, which is very handy. Just like normal. Lay down my vinyl. Okay, lays down really, really great. Let's open this up. I did go ahead and select the premium vinyl setting in Cricut Design Space, and let's see how that works. Okay, there it goes. I'm gonna go ahead and unload my mat. And it looks like it cut out really, really well. Oh, maybe a little too well. I see that it kind of cut through a little bit, but I don't think it's ruined. I think it should be fine. You may, and it's hard to tell, you know, exactly which setting to use because I feel like everybody's Cricut machine could be a little bit differently, or could be a little different and cut a little different pressure-wise. But let's see, the permanent vinyl setting or the premium vinyl setting seems to have been really well so far for mine. In areas I feel like it kind of cut through, but only really just on the E there. So for the most part, it did really well. If it did more than that, I would, you know, play around with maybe less pressure, but let's not make any decisions yet until we try weeding this out. Okay, I'm gonna save these little pieces. And what I'm going to do is let's try out this again. This is totally new to me, so let's see how that works out. And I'll grab a weeding tool and let's see how this weeds. Okay, so it weeds pretty darn perfectly. Oh my goodness. Well, I guess there was no middles, so I guess I didn't really need to test that out, but that weeded beautifully. I'm very impressed. Very impressed. Okay, I will put font information down below, but I just wrote out glue sticks because I thought that would be really cute for labeling this fun jar for my craft space. Okay, I am going to, let me set this to the side so it doesn't get any moisture on it. I'm gonna grab my little spray bottle of rubbing alcohol and I'm just going to clean the surface. That way my vinyl lays down really well. And cleaning the surface just removes any oils that may have been on the surface. I like to craft with lotion on my hands, so I could have been putting, you know, oily residue on the surface just by handling it. But it also removes any dirt or dust that could have accumulated just by simply sitting on the store shelf. Okay, so cleaning the surface will just help give us a nice fresh slate to place this on. I'm gonna bring my little cup cradle in just because it steadies things like this so nice. That way they don't move around. Now it's nice and steady and I can just focus on placement. I'm going to reuse the transfer tape that I pulled off of my first project when we did the little envelope. And let me place this right on here. Okay, I'll trim down any excess. There we go. And let's grab the Dollar Tree scraper once more and burnish that down. Okay. That's good. And then I like to, again, turn it over and burnish the back as well. And let's see how well this comes off of that paper. Okay. So it comes off wonderfully. Okay, this is really interesting, very fun. Okay, so I'm just going to place this where I'd like it. I'm going to do a little higher. You could center it, but I kind of like this look a little bit more. Okay, lay that down. I like to just kind of rub it down really quickly just with my hands and fingers first, and then I go back through with some pressure using my scraper tool and really get that nice and firmly placed on my jar. All right. Grab a little lip of my transfer tape and, ooh, let's see, maybe I didn't burnish the E as well. Let's see here. Yes, that looks like it was just error for me. And sometimes you do have to kind of nudge vinyl down a little bit, even when using, you know, regular vinyl that you'd buy from a craft store. Okay, so it cut perfectly, it weeded perfectly, and it transferred perfectly to my project. I'm very, very impressed. I wasn't quite sure going into it what I was going to think. Now they do have a variety of colors. I think they may have had some patterns as well. So that's really exciting. Now, one thing I don't know, and I haven't tested, you saw me just open this for the first time right here, but I haven't tested, you know, if you put this on drinkware, how much that would hold up. I started off by doing it on something that I know isn't going to get wet. Once it's kind of on, it's going to be on for a craft room type of object, right? This is something that's just going to be sitting in my space. So you may want to do some additional testing. Although with regular vinyl that you would purchase from a craft store, you would be hand washing that as well, regardless if it was permanent or not. So again, I haven't put this to the test on hand washing, but I would say for a project like this, I would definitely think this is a perfect option and definitely pick some up. Okay, we will go ahead and revisit the Dollar Tree vinyl on another project later in this video, but so far I'm super impressed. Okay, let's move on to the next project and the next variety of things that I found when shopping at Dollar Tree. In the school supply section of Dollar Tree, I found this pencil holder. That's how they label it, as a pencil holder. I thought this was really fun for a craft space. What I was thinking, I only picked up one of them, but wouldn't it be really neat if you picked up maybe even 4 or 5 of them? You could use a double stick adhesive in between them and you could really stack them and make it really substantial. The only thing is with one, I worry that it might teeter, but once you add some markers or pens to them, I wonder if that may help make them a little bit more sturdy. So that's kind of how they are sitting in there. Oh, they go a little bit further, I would say, in these 2 middle slots. That's really neat. Add a couple more, just like that. And then once you have something in there, I feel like it's less wobbly, which makes sense, right? You're having a little bit of weight to help lay that down. But I find that if you have some longer things, the second 2 are a little bit better. They kind of stick out a little bit more on the top. So I would probably put, you know, a little bit more shallow items in the top and bottom. But how fun are those? Again, if you had a variety of them and you stacked them together, I think that would be a really nice substantial little piece. And again, if you put just some smaller things down in the bottom and top, even if you put like scissors or something, that would be really, really great. So super, super fun. I love this idea. And again, found this at Dollar Tree, and this is a wonderful way to organize your space. Another couple things that I found in the craft section were a cute little tote bag. How fun is this? You could do a variety of crafts on the surface of this. They are a little thin, but again, $1.25. I think these are perfect for what you pay for them. And what I would personally think they would work really well for are little gift bags. I think that would be really fun if you're making little teacher gifts or if you're heading to a birthday party and you wanted to put the present in a personalized bag. I thought that would be a really, really great idea for not only the size of this, but also just the thinness of it, right? Okay, so I am going to cut the little tag off. I also found little iron-on transfers at Dollar Tree, which that's so fun. I think this is just really, really cute. And I found this little glitter unicorn. Isn't that really fun? So let's go ahead and open this up. I thought we could use both of these things and put them together and create a really fun little project. All right, so looks like it's kind of tacked down on the back here with a little adhesive. Make sure I get all of that off. Okay, I did. Okay, so what I thought would be really cute is putting this, you could put it anywhere, but I think it might be just kind of a little small for the center, but I think it's perfect if you wanted to kind of put it down in the corner. I thought that would be a really fun look. So I'm going to go ahead and head over to my heat press, and I'm going to just press this right onto my little bag here. I think that's going to be really cute. Okay, so again, setting this on a cool surface just to really let this cool down. You can even directly place the iron-on right onto my mat by placing it front side down as well. And then there is a little liner that you do peel off, and it does specifically say don't peel it when it's hot. So I'm going to try and I wonder if my little Cricut tool kind of just helped me grab that liner. Okay, you want to be careful so that your edges aren't disturbed. But I'm going to peel that off nice and slow, just monitoring everything. In fact, I didn't do so, but I think what I would do next time is, just in case, I would place like a piece of butcher paper between my design and my press, just in case, just to protect your heat source as well as your product that you're working with. Okay, that worked out really, really well. Pretty. And that's super, super fun. So $1.25 for the bag, $1.25 for the little transfer, and you have a really fun little bag. Again, fun for like a little teacher gift or a gift bag if you're heading to a birthday party, or even just for little kiddos to have a little bag to collect all their little fun treasures and trinkets in. I love that idea as well. So really recommend this. This is super fun. I did pick up 2 additional bags when I was there because the price is just wonderful and I love the size of this. So be sure to stay tuned and I will be doing some other projects and other videos with those remaining 2 bags. I was really excited to find these 2 items at Dollar Tree as well. I have used this before. This is just a nice little canvas that has a wooden frame around it, just like normal. I really love these for adding some iron on too, and we're going to do a little reverse canvas with this right now. I also found this little hot glue gun pad. This is wonderful for just collecting all the little drips that can come off of your hot glue. So let me open this up and we will unroll it. Okay, so I'm just gonna unroll this. Oh wow, a really, really large surface. You could also use this if you are painting as well, and I'm sure this is gonna flatten out as time goes on, but you can use this for a variety of things. If you are into card making as well, you can use this for studying your project because it's a nice, I'm assuming a silicone item, and so it really helps like grip things as well. So I love this. It can be used, again, it's advertised for using for a hot glue gun, so it can help just catch all those little drips. My little glue gun does have a little drip catcher or tray underneath it, but I still wanted to get this because I think you can use it for a variety of reasons. Again, even when painting and things like that, I think that would be a wonderful option. But I love this idea and I'm really impressed with the size of it. I think that's really, really nice. Okay, another thing that you could use that for is for holding ink pads. So if you had your ink pads out, they can stay really nice there while you are working with them. If you have your ink pads on just a glass surface, they tend to slip and slide all over the place, but this is a little bit grippier, so that would be a nice option as well. And yes, it does say 100% silicone. So I think there were a variety of colors, but be sure to keep your eye out for these. I think these are a really good idea to have in your craft space, and you can use them for a variety of reasons. Okay, using my True Control knife, I am going to begin prepping this project. And again, we're going to do a reverse canvas. I love doing a reverse canvas, and the first time I did this with a Dollar Tree canvas, I was really impressed because I think that the little wood frame underneath it is really, really sweet. Okay, so what I'm going to do is focus on the outside of the staples, and I am just simply going to cut away the canvas. Okay, now I have that removed from my canvas. I can then go ahead and clean this up on the back by ripping off the remaining pieces that were still stapled down. Now, if you wanted to take it a step further, you could take the time to remove the staples as well. Because I'm going to be covering this up after, or when I'm finishing up this project, I'm not going to worry about this for this particular project. But again, you could remove the staples if that is something that you would like to do. Okay, so there is the nice frame. I love this because I love how nice and thin it is, but I also think that the color is just so nice and soft, and I just think it's a really, really fun little frame. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and place my cap back on here, and what I'm going to do next is I am going to place a fun design with iron-on my canvas. So I'm gonna use this. I am going to bring in my design. I just cut this out of some smart iron-on. And I will link this SVG down below as well in case you fall in love with it and want to create with it as well. Okay, so I'm really quickly going to take this over to my heat press, and I am going to place this onto my canvas so that we can create a fun frame in the end with this fun design. I thought this would be really fun for my craft space, and what a really inexpensive way to create a little piece of art for your craft room. Okay, so I'm just going to let my project cool just like before. And as always, you want to monitor the project in front of you in terms of how much heat to apply. And I will peel off, once cool, my liner. And there is my design right on my canvas. Okay, it did have just a teeny tiny smell when applying the heat to the canvas. I don't know that I really remember that before when doing reverse canvases. I may have just been forgetting, but just wanted to note that as well. Okay, the next thing that I'm going to do, and this is just how I like to do a reverse canvas, but feel free to do any method that you find helpful, but I like to place my frame right here. And then I'm going to grab a pen, and I just like to get a general idea for where the outside of my frame lies on this canvas. And you don't have to go all the way, it doesn't have to be a perfect rectangle. You're just kind of getting a general idea, but you'll want to make sure that your design is all centered before doing this. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and take this off. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to reference those lines, but I'm going to go in about just a little, maybe a little less than 1/4 of an inch. And I'm just going to cut inside of that line. That way my canvas isn't peeking out the side of my frame for when I reassemble it. So let me just trim this off, and we're going to be left with a nice clean little canvas to finish up this project. Okay, so now when finishing up a reverse canvas project, you can finish it up a variety of ways. You can use push pins, you can use, or like thumbtacks, you could also use staples. I'm simply going to use hot glue. I have done it a few times and it's so simple and so easy. So that's what I'm going to do, but feel free to do what you wish. All right, so what I'm going to do next is I'll bring my hot glue in. Okay. Yep, all ready to go. I'm going to add some right to the top, little lip here. Okay, and then I'm going to bring my frame in, and I'm going to make sure it's all centered. I think that looks good. And I'm going to place that down. Okay, just like that, and let it set. Okay, from there, I'm going to turn it over, and I always work on opposite sides. So from there, since I already glued the top, I'm going to glue the bottom next. That's so that I can really pull it. And what I like to do is I like to work away from me because I feel like I can really tug a little bit easier. If I do this, I feel like it just starts slipping and sliding. And that's just probably personal preference on how I do it. But go ahead and do this however you find is going to make your project turn out just perfectly. Okay, so then I'm going to just really pull. That way that is a nice and tight fit at the end. You'll have a nice, really flat and tight canvas, okay? And then I'll just do the sides. So this is where having a little precision tip is really helpful on a hot glue device, because you can just sneak the hot glue right in there. Oops, did I get it there? There you go. And it just works out really well. Okay, so I'll glue down this side, and you can kind of pull and with your thumbs, if that even makes sense. It's kind of a funny way to say it, but you can kind of like shift it into position as you're laying it down. Okay, turning around, and I will finish off the last side. Okay, so that looks great. Now, if you have any little pieces of canvas that are peeking out, then you can just kind of go through and clean everything up for the final look. But once you turn it over, there is the final piece. I love this. This is going to be definitely displayed in my craft room. I think that is so cute. And for $1.25 plus a little vinyl, I think that turned out darling. So be sure to check out these canvases at Dollar Tree and grab a couple next time you visit. Okay, a couple other items I was really excited to see when shopping were the insert cards for the Cricut Joy, as well as the craft spatula, which it looks very similar, if not pretty much the same as the traditional Cricut one. I use these all the time in my craft space. I have quite a few of them. They just work for a variety of things. I use them when using my Cricut, but I also use them for card making a lot. So I was really excited to see that Dollar Tree was carrying a similar product. Also, you do not have to buy the actual Cricut Joy insert cards in order to make the cards. In fact, I have a tutorial on my channel on how you can make them yourself. The dimensions are given for you. So you can go ahead and check out that video if you want to learn how to make your own insert cards. But I thought I'd pick up this pack and we could test out their little pack of insert cards and we could make a fun little card. All right, let's go ahead and open this up. I mainly, when I am using the spatula, I use it for paper projects when using my Cricut. It really helps to nudge gently the paper off of the mat. And so I'm gonna go ahead and use that for this project since we're going to be using paper. Let me open up my little cards and we will get started. It looks like there are 4 cards, 4 inserts, and then 4 envelopes. So let's go ahead and open this pack up. Looks like the inserts, oh, pretty. So there is a red insert, more of a gold insert. Definitely want to do the gold. And then as for cards, in this pack at least, there is a pale yellow and a petal pink. Well, it's a no-brainer. We're going to do the pink. And then we have an additional 4 coordinating envelopes. To start off my project, I'm going to bring in the Cricut Joy Card Mat. Now this was not purchased at Dollar Tree. This I bought at a craft store. So I'm going to take my liner off and I am going to open up my card and I'm going to place the back side through this sleeve, just like that. Get it all lined up. And once that's lined up, I will lay that down. Okay, there we go. And it looks like it's a pretty perfect fit. Maybe just a tad inside of that line, if we're being honest. See, the measurement might be just a tad inside, but let me double check that I didn't accidentally not get that snug enough. Okay, place that down. And yep, still just a little bit shy. Really good on the bottom, just a little bit shy on the top or on the side, but let's test it out and see how it works. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and get my design ready and then we will cut this out on the Cricut Joy. Okay, so I went ahead and put my design in design space. I chose the cut setting insert card cardstock, and that is the exact setting that I would use if I were using the Cricut Joy cards or if I were using cards that I had prepped myself and made myself. If you need me to really slow down and go through the Cricut Joy card projects, I'll place a link to a tutorial that will take you step by step. I've done many of them, but for the sake of time in this video, I'm just gonna go really quickly. I'll go ahead and load my card mat. And then I will go ahead and press go. Okay, it is just finishing up and we should be all ready to go. All right, and now with the spatula, I really, again, like to use this for paper products because I feel like it helps you just to gently remove. I just place my little spatula right under there, and then I just kind of wiggle, and it helps to gently remove my paper from the mat without bending or ripping or warping it. Okay, I'll just slide my card out. Then I can simply kind of push all those little cuts right out. How cute is this little card? Isn't that fun? Okay, so I have all of my little pieces cut out. Honestly, cute like that with the little tone on tone look. I love that. Now we can bring in our little insert card, and we are going to focus on those little corners where we can just slip those little corner pieces into those little notched areas. And we have our final little card. So those worked perfectly. They're actually even the same texture that the Cricut Joy cards actually are too, where it's kind of more of a textured cardstock, which is really nice. But I love how that turned out. So if you see these at your Dollar Tree and you're wanting an option for getting these little insert cards a little bit cheaper without making them yourself, then I would definitely recommend these. Super fun. Okay, so definitely keeping this little Dollar Tree spatula because I love those. But let's go ahead and do another project using the little Dollar Tree mat as well as their vinyl. So I'm going to place my vinyl on here. Now what I found at Dollar Tree was this really cute wand, and it came in a bare wood. I just removed the label there. That's why you can see a little bit of a residue. Well, actually it's not a residue, it's just more of a visual mark there. But I applied a couple layers of chalk paint, and I actually I just applied one because I kind of wanted it to be a little bit more of a whitewash look. But what I'm going to do is just place a little initial on the front of this wand. So here's an idea for just a fun little gift that you can make or party favor. And this is a fun little blank that you can keep your eye out for at Dollar Tree. I'll go ahead and cut out my little design using the Dollar Tree vinyl once more, and we can get it placed on this cute little blank. Okay, again, using that premium vinyl cut setting. And I thought it would be a great idea not only to use the vinyl again, but we will look at putting it on a different surface. Okay, unloading my mat, all done. Can go ahead and remove my vinyl. Okay, and now that I'm done using this mat, very impressed with that, I am going to place my sheet right back over it to keep it nice and clean. There we go. And love having a nice, really affordable option for additional cutting mats. Okay, let me trim off my extra. That way I can save that. And let's weed this out. Looks like it cut out great, just like the first time. And weeded really well. Again, we'll place some transfer tape right over there. We'll use our little Dollar Tree scraper. Burnish the front and the back. And it transfers beautifully. Very impressed. Okay, now I'm just going to place this little initial right on my little wand here. Again, burnish it down. And there we go. Okay, so if you were going to make a little wooden sign or something like that with this Dollar Tree vinyl, it looks like it transfers really, really well. And I love that. Very impressed, very excited that I picked up that Dollar Tree vinyl as well. I think it'll be a fun piece of material to have in my craft space for certain projects. So loving that. That is the second little test that we've done with it, and it worked out great. If there's anything that I love about Dollar Tree, it is their organization containers. They always have really unique things and such a variety. So these are two of the things that I found in the craft section. And I also have another item, and actually another two items coming up at the end of this video that pertain to organization containers. But I was really inspired by these. The first one are a little set of 5 mini glass containers. So that is really fun. And then the second one is a set of 6, and these are a tad bigger. They also did have another size of these if you wanted even more of a variety. But I really loved these, and I think that these are really nice for housing small little bits of sequins. So I'll go ahead and show you some that I found. They have a variety in the craft section of little sequins packets, and they come in a little palette, which is nice. So these kind of remind me of fall. I really like these. And there are 6 little packets, and we have 6 little containers here. So I thought this could easily organize itself with this little duo right here. Okay, so here are our little containers filled with the little sequins, and there is still a lot of room left to fill. So I thought this was a really fun little storage solution and a really great opportunity for storing little small craft supplies such as this. In the art section, I also came across this really fun paint and water cup. I think this is really neat, and honestly, I think this is great for kiddos as well, and I'll tell you why. It has such a substantial base. It is not going to be easy for them to knock this over like it would a glass. So I love this. It gives you little areas that you can place your paint or whatever mixed media you are working with, and then you have a nice tall area for your water right in the center. I'm going to use this in the next little craft where we're going to put a little card together because I found some really neat supplies for card making at Dollar Tree. When it comes to card making, Dollar Tree really surprised me in many ways. I found a variety of fun things that you can bring to your craft table that will help you bring some cards together, and I even found stamps at Dollar Tree. How fun are these? I found a cute little summer little stamp set, which I think is super fun. And I also found this little llama stamp set. Now, I'm not sure of the amazing quality that these are, but they're $1.25. So you just have to keep that in mind. They're $1.25. So even if you get a couple cards out of them, I think you are money ahead. So stay tuned. I'm actually going to dedicate an entire video towards this stamp set where I focus solely on Dollar Tree stamps. So let's go ahead and set this to the side, but I'm going to be doing a video on this coming up. But I want to go ahead and use the llama stamps to bring a little card together. How fun are they? I think they are just so sweet. Other things that I found at Dollar Tree that pertain to card making, but you could do them for any type of paper crafting really. I found some foam adhesive rolls. What I like about these is they come in a variety of widths. So that is really nice because skinny foam tape is really handy to have, especially when you're making shaker cards. And I like the thicker when applying my card panels to my card base. So these are really, really nice to have. I also found little adhesive squares as well. And these are really nice for when you want to give a little dimension to smaller things. So I like to use these for my bigger items, but it's nice to have a smaller little adhesive dot to bring some dimension to smaller stamps or other embellishments that you're using. One of my most favorite things in my craft room is a adhesive eraser. I have one and I found this one at Dollar Tree, but I went ahead and picked this up because I want to test it out and see how good it is. But an adhesive eraser is going to be your best friend when working with paper. So let's go ahead. I'm going to open these up. I'm also going to open up my stamps and let's play with stamping some things and bringing a little card together with some of our Dollar Tree supplies. Okay, I'm going to bring out my little mini Misty here, and I have a little scrap piece of 80-pound cardstock. And let's open up these stamps and stamp a couple out so that we can base a card around these fun llama stamps. Okay, so initially my eye was drawn to this really cute little llama with the scarf. How cute is that? So let's go ahead and grab that stamp. I'm just going to set it down on my paper here. And I'm also going to grab this little hello bubble. I really like that too. Okay, so let's test and see how well these stamp out. Okay, so I'm going to close the door and cling my stamps onto the door here. And then I am going to bring in some Memento Tuxedo Black, and I will stamp these images down. So just ink them up real quick. And I'm going to grab my stamp pressure tool. Again, I'm going to dedicate a whole video to card making with Dollar Tree inspired things, just because I was really surprised with how much I found there. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and close that, bringing my stamp to my paper, press that down, and look at that. Whoops, I need a little bit more pressure there. And not too bad for the first stamp. So let me go ahead and re-ink that up and bring some more contrast and color. But the llama looks really, really good. Okay, There we go. Bring some pressure in. And really good. I'm going to bring just a tad more. The llama is perfect. I'm going to bring a tad more into the little hello. And that is a little bit thicker with the text. So let's just see if we can get a nice solid impression right there. Okay, there we go. That looks really good. I'm very, very impressed. Let me just do the little legs one more time. And good. Okay, so here is the final stamp on our paper. Honestly, I think those stamped out really, really nice. Okay, I'm going to fussy cut around these little stamps, and then let's go ahead and play around with bringing some paint in, and we'll do a really fun and vibrant background panel. Okay, I'm gonna bring in another sheet of 80-pound cardstock that's already an A2 size, which is 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a 1/4 inch off each side, just so that my panel is a tad smaller than my card base. So my final measurements will be 4 inches by 5 1/4. Okay, now I'm going to take this down to my mat and we'll start bringing in some color. And as a reminder, everything that you see me use will be linked down in the description box below. But I'm going to bring in these really fun watercolors. These are so pretty. And what I'm going to do, again, you can place actual paint in the little surrounding areas, but I'm going to do some watercolor which are already contained. But let's go ahead and use this little water cup. So I am going to bring in lots of color, and what I think I'm going to do, I was thinking it would be fun to do kind of the pinks and reds. So let me go ahead and, no, I'm going to switch gears and do this little set here. I'm going to do the rose, the lemonade, bumblebee, and sea dream. I think those are just going to be so pretty together. Okay, so I'm going to grab some water, and I'll also bring a paper towel in as well. So I'm going to do, let's start with the rose. I'm going to bring a little bit of that color in and get a lot of water there. Okay, and then I am just going to just kind of have fun bringing this in. Now, I'm not using watercolor paper. You absolutely can, but I'm just going to use some regular cardstock for this. Okay, so I'm going to do that. And then dry that off. I'm going to bring in my next color, which is the lemonade. And I'll bring that here. And allow them to kind of mix with each other in that center area. And then let's bring in bumblebee. And bring more water in. Okay. Ooh, how fun. Love that. Okay. And finally, let's bring in Sea Dream. Is that the one I said? Did I say Sea Dream? I certainly don't remember that beautiful name. Okay, and we'll bring that in here. Allow a little bit of mixing, but I'm also going to bring a lot more color in. Okay, I like that. That looks pretty. I might trim down. I didn't really get that completely centered, which is totally fine. We're just having fun, but I might trim that down just a little bit further in just a moment. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I am going to dry this really quickly, and then I'm going to add a little bit more. Okay, and I love how that looks. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go back through all of those colors. So again, we'll do the rose. And I am just going to focus on that little area, bringing in some little splatters there. Isn't that cute? Okay, so that one's done. And the reason I wanted to dry before is so that that next kind of layer lays on top and not necessarily sinks down into the little background color there. Okay, so this one is lemonade. Easy peasy. And bumblebee. And finally, Sea Dream. How cute is that? That is so fun. Okay, let me build my little card base here. Now, naturally, I'm bringing in other things that aren't Dollar Tree because Dollar Tree doesn't have all of the bits and bobs to put together a card, but I really like that we're seeing little glimpses of stamps because I feel like stamps can sometimes be one of the most expensive parts. So it's nice that we can use all of the supplies that we have in our craft room, but then have some fun experimenting with some new stamps that we're seeing. I have a piece of 110-pound cardstock here. It's sized at 11 by 4 1/4, and I am going to place my score line at 5 1/2, which is center, and that will give me my top folding A2 size card. Bringing in my bone folder really quickly. We'll finish up this card, and then I have 2 more organizational items that I found at Dollar Tree to inspire you with. While I'm waiting for my panel to dry, I wanted to test out this adhesive eraser from Dollar Tree. And I want to just show you kind of how it works. So I brought in a little tape runner here, and because we're going to be covering this in a moment, oh, you know, it looks like an adhesive eraser. It feels like an adhesive eraser. I'm sure it's going to act like an adhesive eraser. Okay, so for some reason, if you are creating and you get a little too much adhesive in an area that you did not want it, so for instance, I have a little piece here and I want to get this off, right? So it's hard to see, it is clear, but you can kind of get a little glimmer there. What you can do is bring in your little adhesive eraser and you can rub it over it and it will just kind of gum it off, if you will. And it worked exactly like it should. So it's nice to have a backup of these, and we have no adhesive left on our paper. So these are very handy, especially when you're working quickly. Sometimes you can get a little too much adhesive either on your project, or you can get it in an area that you didn't intend. So very helpful to have one of these. Highly recommend it if you see it at Dollar Tree. I have my little stamps all cut out here, and while I'm waiting for my panel to finish drying, I'm going to go ahead and back these with my foam tape. Now, you can also use the pop dots, and why not? Let's just go ahead because I know I'll use my foam tape elsewhere today on the card panels. So let me go ahead and open this up, and I'll just place some of these little squares on the back of, there you go, on the back of my little things. Now, because you can further color these, especially because I used an ink that is friendly with alcohol markers. So if you wanted to color these, you could. I thought it'd be really cute to go really vibrant on the background and then have a black and white little image on the front. So that's where my inspiration is kind of running with this little project, but go ahead and take it in any way that you'd like. Okay, I have enough on this one. Let me go ahead and back this one. Actually, for something like this, I would probably grab this medium little tape here. Let me open it up, and I just think it's so much quicker. I grab some nonstick scissors. Those are going to be essential when cutting all these little sticky strips, but I find it easier just to lay a whole strip on the back and then just cut to size. And there we go. That would be completely it. Okay, so there are our 2 little pieces. We have used our little Dollar Tree adhesive, which is wonderful. And now let's bring in our card panel. So here is our card panel. How cute did that turn out? I love it. Okay, what I'm going to do really quickly is I am going to turn this over. Now you can see it's a little bit warped. If I had more time, I would place this within the pages of a book or under something really heavy and it would flatten out. But because the sake of time, I'm going to just simply place this on my card. Now, what I will do and what I do recommend is definitely use a foam tape if you have something that is a little bit more warped, because foam tape will absolutely help flatten that out. So I'm going to go ahead and grab my Dollar Tree foam tape once more. Whoops, now this one's stuck there. Okay, and I will just back my entire panel with the tape. Okay, and then I have my nice card panel right here. How fun is that? I'm going to go ahead and take the strips off and I'll construct my card, and this will be a completed project. Okay, I'm just going to center that where I would like it, and then really press that card panel down and flatten it out. Okay, and that looks so pretty. So pretty. I really love that. All right, I'll add my final elements. Now for something like this, what I like to do is actually the little ones. You can grab a little weeding tool or something that is a little sharp. So even like an awl is really great too. And you can just poke off these little liners. It helps instead of using your fingernail. So I'd recommend that. Okay, there we go. Super sticky. You can also use it for the liners of the actual foam strips as well, just like this. And let me get an idea for where I want to place these cuties. Okay, so I'm thinking something like this, and I think that's going to be really cute. All right, so I'll just bring this here, just like so. Okay, and then my other element right here. All right, and there is our final little card. How darling is that? I think that is so sweet. I love the background, and I like that I was able to have a little bit more fun with the background and then tone it down with just doing a simple stamp. I really think this is super cute. So be sure to check out Dollar Tree in their craft aisle and see if you can find any stamps. I just found some dies at Dollar Tree. So I did pick up some, and again, I'm going to do a whole dedicated video to card making with Dollar Tree products, and we will put some to the test. But how cute is this? I'm super proud of it. Let's finish off this video with a couple other organizational things that I found that I think are worth placing in your craft space. The first one is this organization box. Dollar Tree does have a variety of these little boxes that are enclosed, and they have little containers and separated areas, which I really think are really handy to have in a craft space, especially if you do like beadwork or anything like that, anything where you have lots of little pieces. But I really liked this. This is really, really fun. You could even take your Cricut and label the top if you wanted to have a little bit more organization. They also have this in a variety of different shapes. So this one was circular, which I thought was really, really neat, but they also had like a rectangle one that is a little bit more of a traditional kind of tackle box looking item. And I thought these were really fun. So definitely keep these in mind when you're at Dollar Tree if you need to organize lots of little things. I also found this little trio at Dollar Tree. These are storage trays, and they come in a little variety of colors. Let me go ahead and get the tape off. And I love things like this for placing inside of drawers. I think these are a really quick and easy way to organize all of the little things that can tend to shift around in drawers. And they also have little interconnecting areas here so that you can just slide and connect. That way, once they're in their drawer, they are nice and placed together and they keep organized. I love stuff like this, and I also love the fun color. I love the idea of just placing a variety of craft accessories and tools inside, and I think it really helps to keep a drawer very organized, or even a desktop. So be sure to check these out. I think these are really, really nice and such a fun find at Dollar Tree for your craft room. Oh my goodness, what a fun and exciting Dollar Tree haul. This was so fun to get inspired and crafty with some of these Dollar Tree items that I found. This was really neat. I was able to experiment finally with the Dollar Tree vinyl, and I have to say I'm very impressed. I think this, given the right project, I think this is a really fun choice. So I'm excited that we have this little option, and I was really impressed with how it cut out, weeded, and was applied to our projects. We were able to test it on some glass and also on a little wooden piece. Again, I haven't done any testing on washing or anything like that, but for projects like this that are not going to tend to get wet, I am absolutely comfortable with using this Dollar Tree vinyl. Such a fun variety of card making supplies. Again, I don't have everything here, but we found such fun things in that little aisle, as well as little organizational bins that you can put your little sequins in. These are also fun for adding to your cards if you want to add a little bit of shine. And speaking of cards, how fun was it to find the little insert cards for the Cricut Joy in the crafting aisle? Again, you can make these on your own. You can just simply trim some cardstock out, and I have a video on that. But if you want to pick up a little pack of them, it's nice to know that they work very well. Really loving how we found some Cricut inspired tools at Dollar Tree. These are very, very nice and they work just as expected. Love having this spatula, especially when working with paper, and the scraper worked exactly as expected. I also am really thrilled with this silicone mat. I think this is a very, very universal item to have in your craft space. I think it's something that you can grab for time and time again for a variety of things, and definitely worth checking out and picking up next time you're at Dollar Tree. And then again, in that nail section of Dollar Tree, this is a little nail polish holder that can help when weeding out your vinyl. Gives you a little area to help nudge all of those pieces off of your little weeding tool. And I think this is a really fun little purchase as well. As always, their little canvases never disappoint. I think these are so fun. I picked up a few of them because I am very inspired with these, and these just turn out so nice. I love it. Simple iron-on, quick and easy project, and I think in the end it looks very, very classy. I also was impressed with this little tool holder or pencil holder, and again, I explained earlier that you could stack them 3 or 4 deep, and you could have a really substantial little area for storing your writing utensils or whatnot. Really loved this option. Again, so surprised because I personally at my Dollar Tree had never seen apparel like this before. Of course, I've seen bibs and things like that at Dollar Tree, but never shirts. And I'm very excited that I found a quick little variety that I was able to bring into my craft space. And I love how this shirt turned out. I also loved how this tote turned out. That was so fun and cute. And I love that we were able to use an iron-on design and an iron-on transfer from Dollar Tree as well. And I really love that little rainbow unicorn. That is just so sweet. And again, my first instinct would be to use this as a little gift bag. And I think it's just turned out really fun. And we started off this video a while ago, didn't we? Doing this really cute little craft. I love putting scraps in envelopes like this. It's very handy, and things like this tend to really hold up well. So I love this. I would definitely recommend these as well. And finally, some more storage inspiration. I love how these interlock with one another, and I love that it could bring a really colorful little area to your drawer as well as being super functional. All right, I recounted. I know for a fact that was 24 fun items that I found at Dollar Tree to inspire your crafting. So I hope you enjoyed this. Please be sure to give this a thumbs up if you did. I also have another really popular Dollar Tree crafting video that I will link in the description box below this video, as well as up here. That way, if you want to continue on the Dollar Tree crafting train, then go ahead and click that video and continue crafting along with me. I can't wait to continue crafting with you in the next video and showing you what's coming to my craft table next. But until then, I hope you have a wonderful day, and thanks so much for watching.